Assalamualaikum. We are from EH144C. So for this project, we choose a refrigerator as our prototype. So this is our team members. For the company background, EWAP Asia Pacific neighborhood is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. EDAP has been part of the EWAP family since July 1, 2008. The company is a wholly owned subsidiary of EWAP Incorporation. EWAP is a premier cooling tower designer, manufacturer and contractor providing research power solution for customer needs in the power generation, industrial, refrigeration and HVAC evaporative cooling market. EWAP offers new and replacement field rated cooling towers and a variety of cooling tower aftermarket service, including a replacement part. Next.
So, the second law of thermodynamics in our prototype. According to the second law of thermodynamics, heat will always flow spontaneously from hot to cold and never the other way around. Second law of thermodynamics also introduced a new property called entropy, S, which is an extensive property of a system. The entropy change of a closed system is equal to the heat added reversibly to it and divided by the absolute temperature of the system. Second law of thermodynamics also states that any spontaneous process in any isolated system always results in an increase in the entropy of that system. Next. So how a refrigerator works? First, work is inputted, which compresses a coolant, increasing its temperature above the room temperature. Next, heat flows from the refrigerator to the coolant, which resulting decreasing the temperature inside. Next, the coolant expands and it cools down below the temperature inside the refrigerator. Heat flows from this coolant to the air in the room, reducing the temperature of the coolant. This process is called cyclical and allows refrigerators to run for as long as necessary.
Next is coefficient of performance. We would want to make the area colder while doing as little as possible. By doing little work to cool the appearance, the refrigerator can stay at the desired temperature while using less electricity, therefore saving the owner money. The number that describes this idea is the coefficient of performance, which is essentially a measure of efficiency. Next.
Major uses of the second law is to determine the theoretical limits performance of engineering systems such as heat engine and refrigerator. Second, to identify the direction of the process. Third, to predict the degree of completion of chemical reaction. Last is to determine the degree of degradation of energy during process. Next, the refrigeration cycle starts and ends with the compressor. The refrigerant flows into the compressor, where it is compressed and pressurized. At this point, the refrigerant is a hot gas. The refrigerant is then pushed to the condenser, which turns the vapor into liquids and absorbs some of the heat. The refrigerant then proceeds to the expansion valve, where it expands, losing pressure and heat. The refrigerant coming out of the expansion valve is cool and slow due to the loss of pressure. It enters the evaporator in a liquid state where the exchange of heat takes place, thus cooling the load inside the refrigerator. As the gas cools down, the load is absorbed the heat which turns it into a gas. The gas is then pushed back into the compressor where it can start the cycle again.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aziza Ain Azila binti Abdul Ghani. I will explain about the equipment used in the refrigerator. Firstly, the compressor. The compressor constricts the refrigerant vapor, raising its pressure and push it into the coils on the outside of the refrigerator. When the hot gas in the coils meet the cooler air temperature of the kitchen, it becomes a liquid. Next, the condenser. The function of the condenser in a refrigeration system is to transfer heat from the refrigerant to another medium, such as air or water. By rejecting heat, the gaseous refrigerant condenses to liquid inside the condenser. The expansion valve removes pressure from the liquid refrigerant to allow expansion or change of state from liquid to a vapor in evaporator. The high pressure liquid refrigerant entering the expansion valve is quite warm. And lastly is evaporator. This is the part of the refrigeration system that is doing actual cooling because its function is to absorb heat into refrigeration system. The evaporator is placed on the area to be cooled. That's all from us. Thank you.